happen for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Modify Your Life Podcast, where I'm your host, Anthony Lopez, also known as Heavy to Modified. Welcome to Modify Your Life Podcast, where we modify our life mentally, physically, emotionally, which leads into financially. And today, we got two girls, one podcast. Today we have two hosts today. I was going to go and actually buy another microphone, but Modified Frankie stopped me from this investment into the business because we're going out to New York next week, which was the reason why we're getting ahead like 2 weeks with our podcast, because one, we want to be more organized. Two, I believe in if we're going to do something, we're going to do it right. And if we're going to do it right, that means no missing. Monday's podcast, Wednesday's vlogs, Friday's podcast, also for those that are listening on YouTube. Also, if you're listening on YouTube, we're getting 50 to 200 views per podcast, but I'm not getting any comments. When I don't get any comments, I feel like our podcasts suck. So, I need some comments, right? I'm asking for comments right now. No, but if we bring any value to you, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, and always appreciate a comment if you hear anything that you like, if you have ideas, topics you want to hear more about. Remember, this podcast stuff is for you listening right now, because I always want to bring some value to you, whether it make you laugh or you learn, get you thinking, right? Get you ready to start your week, start your day, start your month, start your journey, right? So with that being said, we got Valerie, which I've known for how many years?
Probably since, we said since we were children. Oh, we said since we were children. Why didn't you push it forward for me? Jesus, I'm trying to talk to him. So
She forgot we're on a podcast. We're just hanging out.
So we were young kids in the neighborhood. I'd say like 5 or 6, I think. So if I'm 35, so 30 years.
Damn. Why you gotta you say it like that? Like, my view just went down. I just became like old fart. Welcome to the Retirement Home Podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Where today we talk about constipation. Thank you for listening, and don't forget that we're sponsored by Metamucil.
That's what's gonna pop up at your door next.
For fast, effective relief.
I can't get sponsored by Crocs, but Metamucil send me a care package. As much as we're talking crap, though, I literally lived off of Metamucil during my bodybuilding show. I was eating so much protein, like Metamucil was my best friend. So anyone out there that's tracking their food, focus on their protein, if you notice that your bowel movements are a little off, take some Metamucil.
You're in it.
And you're in it to win it.
You're out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, you're in it. You're in someone's restroom.
Full commit.
And then we also have Amanda.
The one and only. Hi.
Well, here we go.
One of many, actually. There's a lot of Amandas.
I'm actually, Valerie, I feel we're gonna get like the amazing story. And then I feel like Amanda, I don't know what I'm gonna get from Amanda. Like, we're gonna get the vibes from Amanda. We were talking. We just got back right now, so we shot a podcast for their podcast, and it was really cool. So everyone definitely go check it out. What is the name of your ladies' podcast?
Real Talk Sundays.
Real Talk. Look, there's a voice
And
again.
she says it just like that every time.
Yeah.
She changes us so fast, right? So we just shot the. I'm gonna have her make the intro. I'm gonna have her make the intro to my podcast.
That's what, I honestly want to move. That's what I want to do.
Yeah?
Can people pay me
Fiverr,
to do this,
Fiverr.
please? Yeah.
Fiverr, that's what it is. So I'm very curious to know how we're gonna. I think it's gonna be. I'm very excited to see how this podcast goes. Honestly,
Me too.
I'm very excited. But I want to get into it. Whoever wants to go first. Who are you? What do you do? And that's it.
Who are you? I have the mic, so I'll go first. So my name is Amanda Dunson, and I have a podcast. Right now, currently, I'm living, my guy. I am living my best life. I'm being present. I sold my house a while ago, kind of paid off all my debt, really just started spending a lot of time with my family, my kiddos. I have 2 kids. I'm a mom.
Heck yeah.
And it's the first time in my life that I've really just slowed down and lived. And it's the best. I highly recommend it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the homeless part slows me up a little bit, but we still hang out. It's a vibe.
People are like, where do you live?
What day is it?
What day is it?
Right now my grandma is a snowbird in Arizona most of the year, so we're staying at her house until springtime, until I can build something. Or my goal is ultimately a tiny home. I'm minimal, so I try to keep everything close and compact. But right now I'm a podcaster. I need to start saying that with emphasis. I podcast. I live my best life, and ultimately I'm just, hanging out and following one of my dreams, which is
Let's go.
fucking this, honestly.
I love that. And Valerie.
She's really important. She's more important than me.
No, I'm Val. And sorry, God, I'm really bad at microphones.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, no, you're good.
Really bad. I don't press record either.
Anything like this.
So I'm Val. I work with people with developmental disabilities. I run the programs for the children, adults, and all of that. What else about me? I don't know. That's basically what I do. Honestly, work is a
relationship with a great.
Oh yeah, I'm engaged. Everything's amazing. I'm engaged. Everything's fine. I have 3 dogs, and that's all. I'm really not that cool.
We just talked about how at the we had lunch the other day how like Val does not flex on herself as much as she should, as far as like what a boss ass bitch she is in her day job.
Thank
like
you so much. Look at my best friend.
Look at him. Look at her
like,
there. Look on the
so you're
screen. Like, look at
amazing
that.
everything you do.
Look at that. Look at
I
there.
have a big ego, but I don't like to say things out loud.
You know, and no, I think it's dope. Well, like, you know, as we're talking, like, obviously I wasn't testing you guys while we're having dinner. We're having a conversation. But while we're talking, I feel like is where I get the best topics for the podcast, right? So I could sit here and I could have you on here and talk about some of the notes that you had, you know, some of the things you had left about, you know, the weight loss and, you know, seeing a photo of yourself. But, you know, let's get into something I was listening to you girls talk about your podcast and that's why I asked you the question, like, where do you guys see your podcast going?
Yeah, that was thought provoking.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because I wanted to test the waters and kind of see like where we go. The reason why I named this podcast Modify Your Life Podcast is because it's not only a weight loss. It's not only a physical thing. It's a mental thing, right? And it's not only a weight loss thing or a physical mental thing. It's a financial thing, right? It's about, like, you know, the Heavy to Modify brand, the Modify Your Life podcast is the self-development, right? And self-development is not just your weight. It's not just your health. It is your mental too. Also, it's financial, right? So you ladies are both taking a leap of faith, traveled down to Vegas, came to meet other people, and you guys really want to, you know, grow your podcast into something that, you know, bigger than you guys could dream of, right? So, like, I'm really into business, right? There's a lot of people that are into business that listen to this podcast. There's a lot of people that want to change their life around. So it all goes together. Like, without discipline, consistency, accountability, your podcast will not be successful, nor would mine, right? So let's get into that. Like, the leap of faith of, like, starting a podcast. I'm pretty sure that you guys had self-doubt. Right, so how does that feel? Because I know that you just recently posted up a video on TikTok, and it went viral. And you guys both had 2 different reactions to it. So Valerie, let me know your reaction and what your thought process was, and then Amanda, let me know yours.
I mean, of course, in the moment, I was kind of like, wow, this is crazy. And I was excited. And I was like calling her. I'm like, oh my God, I think we're going to hit like 100,000 and like stuff like that. And I had never been on TikTok before that. So that's something. Also, I still don't have a TikTok. Third, I'm not a social media person at all. So for us to go viral for social media bothers me. And I don't know why. I really can't explain it. It's just a me thing. Like, you would never know I was engaged if you didn't know me and you were with me. Like, I've just never been that person. But now I post on social media. But I'm just saying that's kind of where my mind went when we went viral. It was crazy. But it's not big time viral, but we're not that cool. It was fun. It was fun, yeah. Because we made a part 2. We're like, this is wild.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting too because, you know, I when you had told me that, I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
So when I went viral on TikTok, right, I was not happy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be known for the fat person.
Yeah, we're
like
shit,
I've done
yeah,
so much content.
girls.
I've done so much content in my life about Camaros, about building cars, X, Y, and Z, and the one thing that hits is my weight loss, and I was not happy at all. Now, little do I know how now I could just punch myself in the face for being so ungrateful, right? But at the same time, in the moment, I'm like, God damn, like, this is not what I want to be known about. This, everyone was like, did you see your video? Did you see your
100%.
video? And then ESPN reposted it. Oh my gosh. I'm like, now I'm kind of happy. I'm like, oh, now people are going to know me as like the fat guy. Now people know me as a fat guy. I was so negative with it, right? So I had that similar mindset with you, but, you know, obviously little did I know. Now I'm like, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so happy. Like I'm blessed for that, you know. And Amanda, like, what was your thought process on the whole situation?
Yeah. No, for me, I feel like because I have my personal TikTok and I've had a couple go viral on my personal one, so it was really nice to have that kind of cross over to our professional one. And ironically, I feel like we're like a lot of like when it comes to our social media, we're very private people. We do not like to do that. And that's our downfall when it comes to owning a business, because this is a necessary evil. And we were just like, oh yeah, same thing. We're like, damn, we're gonna be known as plus size girls. Like this is yes, it's our brand, and yes, we are 2 plus size mamas. We're here, we're out, and there's a lot of women out there. Like the sense of community that followed us, it was overwhelming. We were like, oh my gosh, look at all these women who love us, like who are like, yes,
we're like, so you're just like, oh
yep,
shit.
nope, that's real. Fuck hotel towels, like for sure. And there's just a lot of community out there for it. But like coming into the podcast, I think one thing is a common misconception is how easy this is. Like it seems to be easy to put up a couple of phones or a couple of cameras and mics and just film yourself. But I think without you being like the yin to my yang, the thing to my thang, it's just like she brings a lot of the accountability and the, I don't know, just the balance of me. And so it's good to have it together with somebody who is fun and entertaining, and we can talk about it. And we have the comfort too, because we've been best friends for years. So she's literally helping me explore my dream job, like to use my voice to show people that we can have conversations and be from opposite walks of life, because we don't agree on shit. Like her and I do not agree on anything.
That works though. Honestly, it works. Me and Frankie, we're two different people, but people love when we talk because it's always cool to like. There's always the hero and the villain, right? And like that's how I look at it. Like some people are gonna agree with what I say sometimes. Sometimes people are gonna agree with what Modified Frankie say. Or when I have a guest, sometimes it's the thing that's what makes us human is that we don't always have to agree on something.
Yeah.
Right. But I also think what makes us civil is understanding that we don't have to agree on everything.
We don't.
Right.
And that's our biggest thing for our podcast is we can have these conversations, that we can have different beliefs, ideologies, kind of where we stand and what we represent, and still be friends and have a discussion rather than an argument over something we don't see eye to eye on.
Let's go.
And
I like that.
Bring people from all walks of life, like real talk with real people, because they're our friends. A lot of who we interview are people we know and who are like, God, these people are so smart. Like, they need to get on a mic. Like, people need to know what you have to say. We got to talk about it.
People never aware of how much value they could bring by just simply sharing their story, because everyone has a story.
Life-changing.
Right? So I want to get into this about agree. And remember, when we're on my podcast, you never are forced to agree with me, right? That we're all different humans from different walks of life. So we could talk about whatever, and we could either come to agreement or agree to disagree and then move on, right? So I kind of want to know, because you girls have both talked about, like, you are known as the plus size, what do you say, mommies? Baddies, what'd you say?
Oh, I don't know.
Plus size gals.
Mamas.
I'm just
Mama. I said mama. Plus size mama. So like, what's your thought on that? What's your thought on the whole this time we live in of plus size and fat acceptance? I would love to get your input on that.
You always ask these questions.
I
know it's different now, right? Yeah.
Like way
now you're on the hot
me.
seat. Plus
I feel
size
very
mommies.
like,
Is that what you said? Now you're in the hot seat.
We've talked.
Yeah, I think it's different for me and her. We have two different ideas of this, because I was not overweight until I stopped being an athlete, right? So like I was completely, like I was skinny and tall, skinny all my life until I stopped playing sports and then started gaining the weight. And that was like, oh no, what am I going to do? And all my friends were skinny still, like, you know what I mean? So it was more of a different, like, oh, now I'm plus size. Like now I am plus size. Like when you get those pair of jeans that are not what they used to be, that's when it kind of hit. But for me, I don't know the boundary of the fat acceptance. I can't tell you. I'm a judging asshole, but I can't tell you what the boundary is for, like the fine line. I don't know. I'm not sure. Cause like ultimately we're not huge, but we're considered plus size, right? People say that. They're like, you're not even that big. And I'm like, well, we're plus size for sure.
Is plus size like 2X and above? Like plus size? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Queen size.
1X and above?
Yeah.
Plus size is 1X and above? What the fuck
like,
was I?
You know, I don't know what size you are.
I know.
Yeah.
Dang, I was wearing a 6X. What am I?
You're still just plus size.
That's
plus size. Yeah, it's all.
Okay, well, I need to know the line here. There needs a, okay, so like, so technically, so I'm an extra large right now. I'm a 2X right now. I wear 2. This is a 2X.
Yeah.
So therefore, I lost 350 pounds and I'm still considered plus size.
Well, men wear their clothes differently.
So now it's a gender thing.
Oh,
Yeah, but this is a 2X. I'm going off of what I'm wearing now. So I'm considered plus size. That's crazy. All this work for what? For what? To be plus size?
Yeah.
To be
It's a lot of work to be plus size.
I went from to just plus.
Yeah.
That's it.
dude.
plus.
Plus.
I just want to be size. That's all I want.
But I'm different. I have really big boobs, so even if I
Me too.
did,
Mine are
if
just
I-
flat though.
If I lost some weight, I'd still I wouldn't be like that far off of a shirt size, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. What about you?
What are you, Amanda?
She got lipo. Does she really
Got
count to talk about this?
I'm between
she
an L and
count?
an XL now, so I'm just.
She was a
I'm
certain
just-
size and now she's not.
No, and that's the thing. Opposite ends of the spectrum. I've always been big my whole life, and I've been tall. I've been big, and as far as growing up, you know, I used to resent plus size or she's a bigger. People used to always go like, "Damn, you're huge."
Big bone.
Big,
they would
you know,
say
but
that.
and they my nickname in high school was Big Mama D, and I fucking hated it. I
Oh
was
my.
just Big Mama, and it was like, yes, I was an athlete, all three sports, and like when it came to athletics, I was so proud that I was big and I brought a presence and I was strong. I was stronger than a lot of the women that I've played sports with, and so off the court though, my social life, my dating life, like my family just was really hard on the women, and I think it's a Latina thing as well. Like always just
Yeah, Francine was talking about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
being raised a certain way, like
God.
your value is only in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
you're
but like,
just-
hold on, you said a lot.
I
we're
know.
we're about to dive in.
Yeah,
We're about to dive in. So let's get into it was okay to be plus size, thick, whatever you want to call it in sports, but outside of sports,
it wasn't
hell.
it wasn't popular yet. That's why I think I am truly blessed for our generation and this new age and this new era of the woman that is so inclusive, and the Lizzos of the world and just the people who are bringing in how beautiful big is. Like, you know, and I just love it because stepping into it wasn't until my late 20s, almost after college, but more so my late 20s, where I'm like, damn right, I'm plus size. Like I am thick. I'm thick with it. I take up space. Like move. Yes.
Okay.
And when I stepped into that and embodied that, my whole life changed. Like, you know what I mean? And it was chipping away at me in high school and college. I just hated being big and plus size, and my name's Amanda. And so there was a lot of jokes on that. And so it always had this negative connotation that being big, being plus, being, you know, an extra large 2X.
I got it.
Like
Amanda.
yeah, get a man, duh. And also my school had the lady caveman as their mascot, so it was just a win-win. My whole high school career, let me tell you, being like 5'11", and I'm 6 foot. I'm 6 foot, 240 pounds. Like I moved, and so I think it wasn't until really seeing other women, other models, other just really sensual, beautiful women embody this and step into it, to where I was like, I can fucking do that. You're right. This isn't going anywhere. I'm going to be this size. So we need to fucking like it. Like we need to really appreciate this. And honestly, since then, it's kind of been,
You've owned it.
I've embodied it.
You know, I think you're like the
You are
first person.
welcome.
You're like the first person on my podcast to really kind of speak on something like that and to have that input, because you know how my thought process is a little bit different, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But so with come owning it, you know what I mean? Are you owning it because this is what you look like right now and you're working on it, or you don't care about about fixing it? Like when it comes in like health wise. So confidence wise, I'm all for that. I love what I hear. Like you should be confident. You should love yourself. I always say like love yourself enough. Like I said on your podcast, love yourself enough to fix the problem you caused.
Yeah.
Right. So what is your thought on now? We accepted who we are. We accepted the body that you're in and where you're at right now. When you look in the mirror, this is who you are. Right. So what about the health side? Or is it something that you're working on? Is it something that you plan on working on? Or is it something that you completely just accept and this is Amanda moving forward?
Yeah, no, definitely something that I'm working on. And I think a lot of it does have to do with our conversation previous with self-love, the type of self-love. And it's taking me a long time to get here. And I've had 2 kids. So that transition in and of itself, where it's kind of like out of your hands, the way your body's responding to like giving life and giving myself a break. I just brought 2 people into this world, like with my body, and really getting past all of the aesthetic that comes with it. But to answer your question is, I've gotten a real kick in the keister as of late. Like I haven't always been on this journey for the right reasons. And it's a lot of external validation, a lot of like, I want to look that way because I want clothes to fit better so that I can take pictures that look better. But in this instance, being served on the health front and doing a lot of reading and research and honestly just not feeling like shit every day has really been great.
Let's
because,
go.
Yeah, I had so much inflammation in my guts and like going to my doctor and my doctor being like, girl, get
it
off
together.
the gluten.
Like,
Okay, honey, you're gonna die. Yeah, you're gonna die. And it was interesting. It wasn't like a surreal check, but she was just like, you're sad, because I had the sads. I remember I was just so sad, and I was like, God, I feel like I'm getting depressed again. I'm going back into the sads. I need to go to my doctor. I haven't gone there. Did all my blood work, and my vitamin D was through the floor. She was like, we need to get you on major vitamin D.
Me too.
But yeah, your guts are so inflamed, your vitamins aren't being absorbed in your gut because you're eating everything that you can get your hands on. And so,
Dang, that doctor was.
yeah,
I needed that doctor in my
real
life.
Talked my ass. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. It was hard too because she was overweight, and I remember sitting in the weight room. I remember I called you after. I was like, this bitch just came at me, telling me that I got the gluten tummy. And telling me all this stuff, and my blood work was just, girl, you're sad because you have a lack of vitamin D. You're not absorbing vitamin D because your guts are inflamed because you need to get off gluten and other shit that makes you allergic. Stop. And I started it, and then I got lipo, and I was like, yeah, I can't throw this investment away. So I doubled
now
down.
you double down.
And I am, gluten
was a great
free,
tool.
like lessened on my dairy, and just really vitamins are up, like my water intake up, and just wanting to hit the gym. And I remember too, the vitamin D was like a week or two later. I called her. I was like, I got a gym membership today. I feel like I'm not going to kill myself. This is really great. Like, I'm so happy. Oh my God. Is this...
But you know, it's so now.
Oh my
this
God,
is,
this is healthy.
Yeah, exactly. and you're like, and I honestly didn't know where this conversation was going. I thought we were about to not see eye to eye this whole entire conversation. But isn't it insane how when you started doing the right thing,
I felt great.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like, and even though you accepted yourself for who you were, which everyone should, like, imagine if I didn't accept myself for where I was when I was over 600 pounds and never started my journey. So you have to accept yourself where you are and your flaws, right? But once again, go back to what I said many times before. Love yourself enough to fix a problem that you caused. Because whose problem was it? It was your problem.
Yeah.
And who was going to fix it? You were going to fix it, right? And regardless if you started off with a BBL or a tummy tuck or whatever it might be, it doesn't matter. You started.
Whatever got
and
you going.
And it got you going, right? And I it's really cool because, like, I haven't had anyone on this podcast that had that view, but then it started to change as you started working on yourself. But it's literally what I talk about. When we do the right things in life, we start to feel a lot better.
Yeah.
We start to feel good about ourselves. And I'm not saying that depression is not real, but I'm saying that hard work and doing the right things, and when I mean doing the right things, I'm talking about doing things that make you happy.
Yeah.
Doing things that make you feel good. Doing things of being a good person, right? You start to feel better about yourself. Your self-credit score goes up. Right? And how many times have we brought our self-credit score down because we go against who we want to be?
Yeah.
Because who we want to be takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of self-reflecting, right? And once you start doing that, look at you now. You're happier than a pig in shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And over here. And then
it's only up from here. That's crazy. I
Exactly.
even made a
Now it's
TikTok because
endless.
I was like, damn, I am doing all the things. I am taking my vitamins. I am drinking my water. I feel great.
yeah, let's
It's
go.
a lot of work, but I feel great.
Let's go.
Like-
And then, Valerie, what's your input on it? What's your input on?
What was the question? She just went.
She said, "Whoa, what was the question?" It's about the fat acceptance and even right now the social media, a lot of social media. I don't see it from guys a lot, so I'm just gonna be 100% honest. I'm not trying to sexualize this. I just do see a lot of women. The couple of videos have seen that went viral that I've kind of put my 2 cents on just a little bit, because at the end of the day, talking to a brick wall is never gonna talk back. But bigger plane seats. What else did we see?
talk about this all the time.
You know what I mean? Yeah. FatCon. The FatCon. Like now that, because I've known you since you were a kid.
Yeah.
You were always fit. You were always playing sports. You were always playing softball.
Yeah.
Right. Basketball. You were like 6 foot when you're like 9 years old.
I know. I was
Right?
14 when I was this tall.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So it's like you're always athletic, and then you got to live a life of being athletic, and then you got to live a life where that you were not as athletic, and we started putting on some weight. Like, what is your input now, like about the whole, let's say fat acceptance, and then like, are you most comfortable when you're overweight, or did you feel the most comfortable when you were more athletic and doing the right things?
Great question. I actually feel the most confident I've ever felt with the size that I am right now, just because I think it's more of like an inner confidence. Like I could walk around and be like, yeah, I look great. Because when I was skinny, I had no self-confidence. So that's where my issue is. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I figured you're gonna have a answer like that because I was just actually today. I can't obviously say the name, but I was somewhere today, and I was talking to someone, and she has a body in the lifestyle and just everything that I feel like another girl would look at and be like, oh my gosh, I would trade my left tit to be her, right? And her confidence is so low, like crazy low, right? And it's so funny because when we're obese, our confidence is low. Well, yeah, when you're the other side and we would look at someone like, I can't even go up to her because she's way out of my league, then their confidence is low. It's like, so it's like, I think it's very true. It's like, it comes from, first the confidence has to come from within, right? Because you could be the best looking girl, best looking guy and have no confidence.
Yeah.
You could also be like that. you could, and that's something, well, as I got into the gym and stuff, I started realizing like how much, I'm like, wait, I had more confidence in you when I was 500 pounds. Yeah. Right? You've known me a long time. Like I've always had like, it was false confidence. You know what I mean? It was false, but it was, I mean, if they, I always say like, if they didn't like me, they'll like the money I have, like whatever, I'll get them some way, but at the end of the day, it was false confidence, but it was still, confidence that I had in myself. But like, so had not, being, I guess skinny, underweight, whatever you want to call it, and not having that confidence. And so now you've built confidence in being at your size, which I don't think you're overweight or fat, honestly.
Well, I definitely am. Thank you. But that's what Skims are for. Shout out to Skims. I'm just kidding.
You're still trying to get that sponsorship, right? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time you get it. I will say, like, the Skims, like, if we're talking about, like, plus size and that, like, acceptance, could you imagine if Skims was out for other people, like, back in the day? Just because, I mean, first off,
you've never tried a Skim, have you?
First off, I was going to say, let's enlighten the followers right now. And when I say followers, I mean myself.
Right there. Click on that. I'm wearing a Skim.
What's a Skim? That's a shirt?
So no, it's a onesie. Like
Oh yeah, I've never worn a onesie. Yeah. It's a faja. Yeah. Oh, it's a faja.
Well, they have those.
Skims. They have them all.
They
also
have
it all.
This is a Skim as well.
Oh, so you girls are just skimmed up.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that sponsorship.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not the biggest fan of Kim K, but she makes a good skin.
God, it's crazy.
She makes a good
The point
underwear.
is, I love that she made that product for people that are plus size.
Kim K?
Yeah.
The one that said, just work hard?
Yeah.
Is that her? Oh, wait, no, wait, hold on. Wait.
It is.
Wait.
God, she makes a good product.
Get your fucking ass up.
Yeah.
You didn't come this far to come this far.
Nobody
Is that
wants
what
to
you
work
said?
anymore.
No one wants to work anymore. Did you see that video?
Yes.
And that was a word. Honestly, whoever their personal trainer, he is scamming and he is winning right now.
That is so
that video was honestly that was the most cringe I've ever seen. Like that was a very cringy video.
Yeah.
Like they were sweating perfectly to the point where you knew it was fake. It was just like it didn't make sense. But yeah, when I saw that video and then
Can you
the
not
sister.
Talk bad about him? I'm trying to. Get
oh my bad. My bad.
No, but
my bad.
It's a good product.
It is. So, but I don't know where I was going with that.
I didn't know she owns that company.
Yeah.
Well, I don't wear Skims. I don't wear onesies.
Well,
they don't make cool stuff like that for guys.
She has a men's line now, though, yeah?
Yeah, she started a men's line.
Okay, I take all that back, Kim K. If you make men's stuff, I am taking sponsorships.
Send him some stuff.
I am also single. Oh, dang, my mic. See?
If we're talking like fat acceptance, I mean, I am super judgy, but I've really been thinking about it lately. I can't judge somebody that, is 600 pounds or whatever, and they need to buy 2 plane tickets, right? Like, and they want to expand that. I'm not going to judge that because I'm 200 and I've never said this out loud.
You haven't.
I am 240 pounds and I can't get myself to be self-disciplined and all these things and lose 20 pounds. So how can I judge someone to lose hundreds of pounds? Like I just can't. That's where I'm at with it. Like
I like that.
I want someone to be healthy, but I also, it's their choice.
Know how difficult
I can't
it is.
even make the choice to eat healthy,
Yeah.
Like people can't think like that though, but like I literally cannot. Like I like food and I'm just going to be honest. That doesn't sound good, but I do.
Well,
I use food to cope when I'm stressed. But if we're having an honest conversation.
I was like, well,
hey, we're actually here to see if you'll coach us weekly because
I was going to say, you can't. Hold on. I can change that. Hold on. www.modifyyourlifepodcast.com. If you're looking to change your life around, I got you. Easy plug right now. I only plug the best in that is heavytomodifiedbrand.com.
It's
Heavytomodified.com. But like, you know what? Like, first, okay, so hold on. There's a lot going on in my brain right now. Yeah. ADHD, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Dyslexic is doing fine right now. Dyslexic is sleeping right now. The dyslexic side is sleeping. ADHD is through the roof, right? So first off, I want to get into something that you just talked about with the Spanx or whatever those things are called. Bro, they don't make stuff like that for guys.
They're a modern day Spanx.
Okay, just hear me out, right? Hear me out.
It's just a little thing that you guys don't get because you're
You know what I
already
mean? But
here.
like-
You already get higher pay. You just don't need that. You don't
Oh
need
my
it.
gosh, I get higher pay?
Yeah.
No, these people, no. These guys
don't
are
have to
some
go-
of these,
I mean,
some
funny.
of these people that are eating fast food every day. They all make more money than me. I'm telling you right now, I am broke. I am still recovering from the $68 I spent for a large pizza and wings. I honestly was about to freaking break over my life savings I have over here, and I was gonna just see if I could afford maybe another slice or something. Like honestly, but no, like guys don't have stuff like that. Like, hear me out. Like,
true.
I think it's like it'd be interesting to ask you this question, Valerie. I guess it really wouldn't make sense for you, but like, imagine like you hang out with a guy at a club, and then you go hug him, and then you feel this body armor on, like the what's it called?
Skims.
Is it-
Skims.
This is
SKIMS.
Yeah, so this is a Mims. Right? He's wearing a Mims. Right? That's what he's wearing. He's wearing
Don't
a
you
man's
take
faja.
that.
Right?
Don't take that.
It's my new business. I'm coming out with
I
Mims.
have
No, I'm coming out with
seen-
Hims. There it goes.
Yes.
That is my new brand. That is new. Hims.
With the Z.
Trademark Hims.
With the Z.
Yeah, Hims.
Yeah.
Him. Oh, that would be good for
That's
the
it.
loose skin. But
Heard
then
it
like
here
once it
first.
comes off
You
though.
have something there.
You do.
Hims.
You have something there.
Hims. There it is. www.hims.com.
people's
If you want your
skin, oh my
men's
gosh,
faja.
that would-
If you want your men's faja, put it order now. You want to tuck the gut
it.
and
Hey,
grow
you
the
wanna
butt.
create this since we all came up with it together.
It's a great brain.
Oh, now they're already trying to take
I got
50%.
sketches. I
already
want
got- hey,
50%.
Hey, I can't give you 50% of a business that Francine owns 100% of, right? I've yet to make a profit off a
Talking to the wrong
podcast.
person.
I don't know if I make money off online coaching. I just nothing. I just sometimes I get a little bit of allowance, but like other than that,
my
like
gosh.
I'm broke apparently.
I have seen men, compression tank tops.
I seen it for like after the
almost.
surgeries, but
Yeah.
like not like like one to wear out. Like
And they're because I buy a lot of undergarments, fajas and skims. They're essentially the same. And I see a lot of men's undergarments out there, and
they are.
It really
there's none
does.
called Hims though.
No, I don't think so. I think
Trademarked.
you're onto something, dude.
Trademark. If everyone wants to know how my brain works, that's how my brain. Welcome to it.
But honestly, I wouldn't think anything of it. I really wouldn't. And you can't
She's
feel it when
very
you hug it. I'm
accepting
very
though. Like
accepting.
she would be like, "Oh, you were a Mims and you like boys and girls. I'm in."
We have so much in common.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wait. Well, Valerie's mom makes sense to you, but Amanda, okay, yeah. Like, imagine like a guy like you bring him for a club, and he's like,
Yeah,
hold
she'd
on,
be like, "It's
hey,
okay."
baby, hold on. I like you, but let me take off my Mims, my Hims.
She'd be fine with
That's all. You be fine with it?
No, I got.
I don't. You know what? Like for me, people always ask me about like, oh, where do you buy your compression shirts from? I don't wear compression shirts. I just wear normal stringers, and I just like, it's just skin.
Yeah.
Right? I help Francie.
Dude.
Oh my God. Helping a girl put on
Cardio.
if you help a girl put a fall on, you know you love her. Right? Because
get the
you
back.
were
Can you get
like,
the
get the back part. You like gotta,
Dump-
I gotta like,
dump it.
I'm like, babe, like run forward. I'm just gonna rip it up. Like, and then like,
Just
and then
this
like,
is $160.
yeah. And then like I go and like I'll be in the middle of like playing like a game or something. Or I'm like working. She's like, babe, we gotta get ready. Can you help me put my fall on? And I'm just like, okay, fine, come here. I'm like, boom, yap it up one time. She's like, oh, you gave me a wedgie. It's love though, but like like with me and her like completely different. I have like a lot of loose skin everywhere, but like I guess it's like I don't know if it's. Do you think having loose skin is more socially acceptable from a man, or is it just awkward for a man and female to have, or look differently? You think it's normal for men?
I think well, especially too, given it's all contextual, right? And I almost think it's the same. Women just talk about it more.
Agreed.
Men don't have the safe space to really just have that narrative and talk about how how it fits, how it sits, and what it looks like. For me too, because we even talked about this a little bit earlier, is having loose skin because of children or because I was larger, and growing up, again, not having appreciation for it. I had a great body, a very flat, tight stomach. My whole life, I've just had a very flat stomach, and then having two kids back to back too, because they're only 13 months apart. Really fucked with me. It really, like, as far as just the aesthetic, I've never had a stretch mark on my body, and I was lit like a Christmas tree everywhere. I was like, this is hard. and on top of the stretch marks, having a cesarean scar, and just really.
Oh, so it was everything.
Yeah, and just like my abs separated, right? I just had so much where I was like, oh my God, I hate this. And yes, there's a lot of body positivity and a lot of friends who are like, oh, you earned those stripes, girls. But my stretch marks and my loose skin were always, even still to this day, something I really struggle with. To where I'm like, I really need to accept this, but why can't I? And I honestly, it's still something I really struggle with. And I don't necessarily think it's the people around me anymore, or society, because everyone's so accepting of it now.
Well, I think it's
me.
I think
Like, it's my approach.
Also too, but what do you see every day when you look on social media? You see the
100%.
best looking girls.
And I'm a '90s bitch, so growing up with that type of body and burned into my mind as far as what beauty is, what aesthetic. And the first thing I notice when I look at other women, I look at their tummies. Yeah. I look at their tummies, and I look like, especially women in a bathing suit, I would like to wear an outfit or a crop top. That's exactly where my eye goes, because that's what I like, and like that's what I'm working on. Yeah. So it's hyper focused every day, all day.
But you have to understand too that 90% of the stuff is edited.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know, I would safe to say 95% is edited, but I'll give the world 10%, right? Not my stuff. My stuff ain't edited.
Yeah.
But you know, so like I think like maybe like we don't notice it, but all we do is see a high beauty standard set by the top 5% of people who look like the way they look, but yet then they don't look like the way they look because then they're on Goob's Instagram where they've been editing their whole life, like, you know, editing photos and stuff like that. So even though you're not focused on it like every single day, like you're not thinking about it, it's still what we see. Yep. Like when I go and I'm looking at like buff, you know, I see buff people on my social media, I'm like, damn, they're ripped and they don't have loose skin. And even though I'm like, yes, I know I earned this loose skin, people always are really accepting. Like I get some negative comments, and it is what it is, right? It's all part of the game. There's people going to love me. There's people going to hate me, right? There's people going to want to watch me win. There's going to be people follow me to watch me lose. It's just life. It's how it goes, right? But at the end of the day, I do catch myself like comparing and like, oh my gosh, like why did I have to like mess up, or why did I have to go be so big, or why did I have to get so big? But then I realized like, who am I comparing it to? Because when I look in the mirror now, I'm better than I was 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, right? But it's just like, it's social media. And now you guys are tapping into a game of podcasts where now you got viral videos where you get people that are going to talk, and people are going to have something to say after watching a 60-second video. But I get so much hate off of people watching a 60-second video of me talking about the weight I lost, my loose skin, and me doing a bodybuilding show. I've never received so much hate in my life. People who think they would know me, and how do you think you know someone in 45 seconds? Right? Like people are like, oh, it's your fault you lost weight. I'm like, you don't know me. I literally talk about, in my post, I say, learn from my mistakes, and I blame no one but myself. So what was the point of saying that comment, but you just think you knew me in 35 seconds? You know what I mean? So like, that's like, and that's what we that's the world we live into. Like we talked about in your podcast, right? Definitely recommend everyone to go checking that out, because it was it was a really good podcast. But you know, people say stuff without expecting any response back, or expecting any actual like physical altercation, accountability. It's so easy nowadays, right? You make a fake account, you go in there and you talk. Remember like when we were younger, right? You would go to school, you would spread a rumor about the person you don't like. Right? That's what we did. And then the person found out that you spread the rumor. Next thing you know, you're caught in the restroom with them. Either you're fighting or not.
Accountability.
Right? Accountability. Nowadays, you don't like someone, you make a fake Instagram with you and your friends, and you go and you talk crap on them, and then they don't know who it is, and then it's just like that's whack. Like to me, it might be that our generation, you know what I mean? I just feel like with us, it was like we talked about, like in our generation, you like someone in school, you guys met in the restroom, you guys handle your scandal.
It's always in the restroom.
Right?
Why
it's always the restroom. It was always the restroom. But like nowadays, like you just say what you want on social media behind a fake account, and just like, I don't know. I feel like that's such like a cheap way. Like I feel like if I was gonna talk crap and I had a good joke to say about you, if it came from a fake account, like I don't get the credit.
Yeah.
Like I do, I feel like someone else, it's like an art to talk crap on someone, you know. But like you kind of, you know, people say stuff with like not expecting any like backlash, because how are you gonna find someone? You're gonna really search their IP address? Oh, right. It's always from.
I think there's actually a whole I don't know if it's an SNL skit about that, but it's the social media accountability where they pull up on a guy's house. They're like, you wrote that you could
is that Keenan Kill?
That guy's
is that
ass.
Keenan? Yeah, is that
football player's ass. And he's here to prove that point. And so I just think
that needs to happen. Yeah. That would be funny if something really happened.
You need to take that tweet down immediately, because you're full of shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's just like we see it every day.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. You guys are
comparing yourself to other moms. Comparison.
Yeah.
It's Achilles heel of happiness.
Comparison is like
I
the
have an answer.
Yeah?
I have something to say.
Daily double.
What?
Daily double.
Is that I think like with the skin and like stretch marks and all of that. I mean, I haven't had kids, so I can't talk, but I try to tell her that like I think I don't know how to explain it, but I think we are ingrained in our minds that men are not going to want us, or women, whatever you're into, because you have stretch marks. It's that's ingrained in your mind, so that's what you're shooting for all the time, is
All
to
that.
not have
To not
stretch
have stretch
marks,
marks.
and to not get that. And when you get a stretch mark, you're like, oh my god, the men aren't gonna want me. Like, you know what
When
I mean?
did that
Like
become a thing though? Because don't stretch marks happen because you get pregnant? Like, wasn't that known to happen between like the hamstrings and the glutes and then the
Yeah.
belly? Like, isn't that normal for a woman
I
to
feel
have
like
stretch
we go
marks?
on a tangent, because think about like women that have a kid and they don't lose the weight right away like celebrities do, because they have other options, and they have
Have,
the
like, the little
stretch
pudge right
marks
here,
and
like the
yeah,
little-
like,
the
and they
little
have
skin,
the
yeah.
loose skin and the stretch marks if they had a C-section, and their husband goes and cheats on them. Yes, there's more reasons to that. It's not just because of that, but that's another tangent. But I really think
No,
that
go
is
for it.
really
Let it rip,
from
potato
it.
chip.
I mean, I've never had kids. I don't know how that feels, but I'm saying I have stretch marks and I didn't have kids, but on my stomach. But I mean, I just think it's that fear of no one's gonna want you physically because of those things.
Because you have a flaw, I guess, when it's just no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's real. And
I'm flaw, and also
Yeah.
it's a sign of, for me, showing my age. I
Yeah.
clearly have 2 children, and also it's not smooth. It's not, it's just not what you grew up
again,
having that
that's what's
expectation.
ingrained in
Exactly.
your head of just being a woman that has stretch
and it's not
marks.
until you fuck with a real man until they're
Yeah,
like, baby,
that doesn't
fuck them
bother me.
stretch
Yeah.
marks. Like when you
Kayla
really,
loves me and I have
when
stretch
you
marks.
get with a real person who's like, oh my God, if you didn't
Yeah.
have them, I'd be like, what is going on? So it's a matter too of is really getting real with yourself and just understanding like you are not, this is my vessel. This vessel's a vibe. I'm going to take it for a ride. This entire human experience, we need to be kind to it. We need to love it. We need to show appreciation to it. And what you speak in your mind, what you speak out was also a huge mental shift, as I had been realizing that I, for 3 decades, have spoken so poorly to my body, just internally and externally, just too big, not happy, don't like that, back fat, my mom's voice, my nana's voice, just, like a whole life of not skinny, I'm not tall enough, stand up straight, suck it in, mija, shoulders back, like just constantly going through your head to where you're just like, oh, let us be so much nicer to this body. Look at what this body does for me. I get to play volleyball still. I get to pick up my kids. I get to play real rough with them, and like we get to have fun and hike, and I get to do whatever I want because this body has gifted me the strength to do that. And that was a huge, honestly, mushrooms, but like like that straight. I remember that one trip where I was like, oh, it was right after I got lipo, and I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was tore up, like post.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Post-surgery,
3-4 days
struggling,
post-struggling.
tubes
And I'm
coming out.
crying, dude. I'm crying because I'm like, oh, I cannot believe I did this to my body. Like, oh my God, this was what the ego wanted, not what the soul needed. And I was just like, oh my God. And then it's honestly from then on, just paying moments of gratitude when I'm in the shower or when I'm rubbing lotion on my, and the things that I don't like, or the stretch marks or the creases. And I'm just like, we are beautiful. We are strong. You're just going back to that gratitude, like, wow, what a powerful vessel. This is beautiful, the human body. And that has been a huge shift for me as far as like, I almost damn near say cured my body dysmorphia. I still have a little bit, but most of my body dysmorphia was almost like, oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, you got it. Well, think about it. You thought about working on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because you wanted to, not because your mom, your aunt, your grandma told you. You wanted it. You wanted to feel good. You say you're tired of feeling like crap.
Yeah.
Then you started working on yourself. Then you got the lipo, and you keep working yourself. And yeah, the body dysmorphia goes away because you know the work you're putting in. Now, we still have it sometimes. I get body dysmorphia
100%.
a lot. There's 2 times I get body dysmorphia. One, when I drink alcohol. That the couple days after that, body dysmorphia is bad. Sweatshirt is on. Mad crazy. Alcohol is not alcohol. Alcohol is poison. Now, I'm not saying don't drink it. What I'm saying is if you're going to drink it, call it what it is. Alcohol is the #1 most studied poison in the world that is celebrated when you're 21 and on. right? Every commercial has it in it. It's a cool thing to do. And let's be honest, I do drink alcohol.
culture,
I do drink. It's a car culture, right? Literally a culture. I live in Vegas.
Yeah.
Poison Central. And I'm not saying I don't drink. I drink 7 times a year. I'm already down to 5. Got 5 left out of 7. It's only
Proud of you.
February.
Proud of you.
And then we got my birthday next
Oh.
month. So I'll remember it's going to be a tough ride this year,
Yeah.
people. It's going to be a tough
Hang
ride.
on.
But we got it. But what I'm saying, though, call for what it is, right? It is poison, right? So I get body dysmorphia when I drink alcohol. And that's just because I don't like alcohol. I think alcohol tastes disgusting. If I go out, I'm going to take a double shot so my taste buds are dead and then probably do 2 more shots and that's it. I'm done.
Yeah,
right? Because I don't want to get sloppy. And then another reason why I start getting body dysmorphia, second reason is when it comes around is when I'm doing the wrong thing. So I get body dysmorphia when I'm not doing my day-to-day tasks that I need to do.
Integrity.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and I always tell people the hardest thing you're going to do in your life is going to call yourself out. And unfortunately, some people go their whole entire life without even calling themselves out, without knowing that they're the problem, without knowing what they need to fix, and without taking action to fix it. So when I'm not doing the right things, because I don't like to just, I don't practice what I preach what I practice. So when I'm not doing the right things, I don't feel like a good coach. I don't feel like a good human. I don't feel like a good person. And then I look at my body, I'm like, I'm becoming a fake. I'm not blah, blah, blah. And then I know it's not true, but how I break it down is that it's not true right now, right? Because maybe I fell off for a couple days, a couple hours, maybe whatever it might be. But times it by 5 years. If I'm acting like with the last 7 days, if I act like that for the next 5 years, am I still going to be in this boat of where I'm at? And if I'm not, then I'm doing the wrong thing and I need to correct it. And that's usually the time when I get body dysmorphia, when I'm doing the wrong thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know about you. You feel like you kind of look at your body poorly or badly when you're not making the right decisions, or just come randomly?
I don't think it's tight. Yeah, it's not that. Honestly, I feel the way you spoke about that's how I feel about my parenting. I was like, yep. That's why I was like, oh, you're gonna be a good daddy. Like that's really good because it's one and the same. It's like I cannot parent or lead from a place of hypocrisy. Like just do as I say, not as I do is really hard.
Say that to that camera. Clip that for yourself.
Yeah,
What did you say?
Thank you. You cannot parent or lead from hypocrisy, from a place of hypocrisy. It's just doesn't work. It's not sustainable, scalable. And this, honestly, our Real Talk Sundays podcast has done a lot for holding me accountable in my communication relationships, but the way other women see me and like I feel like I am now a pinnacle of big confidence. Like we take up space, girl. We walk into this room, we are sexy, we are a vibe, we are us. And the days when I'm down and out or I feel like that, it's kind of that voice, my own voice that's like, yeah, we got a brand now.
Yeah. Get it
we
together.
We are a vibe, girl. Like, let's, where are we off here? Have we taken our vitamin D? Like, that's where I go. But not necessarily when I'm making poor choices, I think that's more of a, kind of my own. It's almost like, what I'm trying to build. So I guess in a way,
Yeah, it does.
I guess in a way.
It would be the same thing.
Yeah, real. Yeah, it would.
What
be
about
the
you,
same.
Valerie? Have you struggled with body dysmorphia since forever, or did you get body dysmorphia when you were underweight, when you were skinnier?
Yeah, I feel like I had it more then because I was so tall and I couldn't get the clothes how I wanted. Like jeans were always high waters, and that bothered me so much. I was so insecure. But yeah, more then. But now it's more of like I'll feel remorse and stuff if I drink too much and if I eat like mac and cheese, and I'll go in the mirror and be like, oh, yeah, well, I'm not losing weight. Well, like I'll do that.
Mac and cheese? I was like, that one meal?
Like stuff like that. I'm giving examples.
I thought it was just mac and cheese. I'm like, well, I just would never eat mac.
Example because that's what I'll do. Like it's just things like that. Kayla knows. Like it's literally I'll be like, I'm just not like, why do I even work out? Like I start spiraling like that because I work out 3 times a week and I'm not losing weight. And this is why I need you to be my coach weekly. No, literally I'm not losing weight. And so I know food's a big thing, but
it's only
I've changed. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll stop working out then.
You can actually.
I love my train,
Yeah,
my workouts. I'm stronger. That is something that is so amazing because I've never been like strong.
Yeah,
and I'm stronger.
So
that's
use that.
Great.
Yeah, use that as fuel to keep you going. Because nutrition, like people don't understand that it's not the gym that's getting them to lose weight 7 days a week. It's their calorie deficit, right? And like people always get it so confused that like, oh, I'm okay. I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna go to the gym 7 days a week. How about you change your life around and just make better decisions for the next 30 days? If you normally have 6 slices of pizza, have 3. If you normally eat out 5 times a week, why don't you eat out twice? If you normally, have, say if you're not tracking food, it'd be hard to go off of calories, but say if you're drinking 6 times a month, then why don't you bring it down to 2? Like different things like that, like will go a long way because we don't really pay attention of how many calories we actually consume in a day because we don't know them. Right. And like I like to break down like the eating. Like you say you're working out right now, you're not losing any weight. You can't outwork a bad diet. You can't outwork bad eating habits. Right. So when we go to the gym, this is what happens. So we're now and started to use you as an example, but I'll just use myself as an example. Right. So how many times would I start a weight loss journey? I'll go to the gym 3, 4, 5 days a week, do a whole bunch of cardio, a little bit of lifting. I do that for 10, 20 days, whatever it might be. I see no change and I give up because I say, oh, it's just not for me. But that whole 10 or 20 days, yes, I was doing more activity. Yes, I felt good, but I wasn't seeing change because I wasn't changing my eating habits. Right.
You almost
So it's you justify like I can have this because I went to the gym. Right. I could eat this because I worked hard today. But like we're not dogs. So therefore you shouldn't give yourself treats when you do something good. Right. So it's like when what you want to do though, but what you want to do is you want A, B, and C to work with each other. A being your mental, B being your nutrition, and C being the gym, right? So when you have those 3 things that work with each other, because without A, B won't work. Without A and B, there will be no C, right? So when you have those 3 in line, and then they don't have to be perfect, right? People try to chase being perfect. I'm not perfect. What do we have today? Pizza, wings, right? We had some good food before the start of the podcast. That's why Valerie's over here yawning. She's about to pass out.
I know.
Right? She's in a food coma, right? Yeah. But it wasn't. I didn't get fat today. I didn't gain weight tonight. I didn't indulge. I did try to order that cake, but they're closed. That was a man up above, like he's like, hey, chubby, hold on, don't you do that, But at the end of the day, though, you know what I mean. I don't feel miserable. I don't feel upset. I'm not mad at myself. I didn't say, oh, keep that stuff away from me, right? Because I know what nutrition is now. I know that I can eat this, but I can have 6 slices. Or we normally don't bring leftovers, honestly. But Frankie brought them. She snuck them home today. She snuck them home today. But like. Once I'm done eating, I leave it there and that's it, and it's like learning nutrition will go a long way because how I break it down is like this, like, exactly how much your car costs, how much your house costs, how much your favorite shoes cost, how much you need to save to go on a vacation, to come to Vegas, right? You knew exactly how much that costs, right? So why would you go and guess how much calories you're putting in your body every single day when you have a certain goal to save, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
So why? No.
Yeah.
So why are we like this?
So why? Well, it's because it's lack of it's lack of knowledge. Yeah. Like that's all. Look, it's all.
Hard too, 'cause I feel
you
like
didn't know.
We know a lot of.
Well, mentally we know, but we like a lot of us learn visually. Yeah. Right. I learned visually. So if I were to show you this plate that was 1,000 calories, right? But I would show you this plate that was 600 calories, but more protein, and is going to keep you fuller longer. This one, and I made this one look better than the high calorie one. You're like, I'll take that one, but you don't know unless you see it visually. Like, hey. Your favorite snack is freaking 700 calories. You don't see it. So I look at things as calories. So it's kind of like, I feel like my brain looks at things as like being bilingual. Like, how like when I talk to Francine, so she hears in Spanish and then translates to English for some reason. So I do that with food. So when I see something, I see calories. Like I look at that, I'm like, that's not Oreos. That's 600 calories because I'm not going to have 1 serving. So that's going to be like 3 servings. So I should probably not do that right now because I know tonight we're going to get pizza. Right. So that's how I look at it. But we don't look at things like that. So like the way you were raised, the way Valerie was raised, the way I was raised is that food is food. Eat it, eat all of it, enjoy it. Don't make a mess.
You can't leave.
You can't leave it until you finish the food. Right. And that's not the right way. Also, too, our parents don't know nutrition. Yes. Our parents don't know the value of having protein, high protein meals in our eating habits. Our parents didn't teach us that, hey, you don't want to make sure you have proteins. You want to have carbs and you want to have fats on each plate. Don't forget your fruits and vegetables, X, Y, and Z. Like we weren't taught all that. Now, it also does fall into the category of regardless how you're raised, it's up to you to make the change. It's up to you. Once you realize that you were overweight, it's up to you to fix it, right? Full accountability, educate yourself, right? But it also does, it comes from lack of knowledge. It's not that you're dumb. It's not that none of us are dumb. It's not that people listening out there are dumb. It's the fact that it's a lack of knowledge. But you didn't know how to start a podcast. At one point in your life, you didn't know how to maybe be a mom until it happened, right? At one point in your life, you didn't know how to play softball as good as you did. But what did you do? You learned, you practiced, you studied, you implemented it. Now you're good at it. So we got to treat the nutrition the same way. Because once you have the knowledge of nutrition, You can eat what you want. Like those people are like on Instagram, eat this pizza all day and you'll be good like me. He is not lying. You could, but you're going to be miserable. But you can have 2 slices of pizza a couple times a week, right? Or once a week, whatever you want to do. But you have to make sure that you're staying in that deficit. But without the knowledge of it, that's why these people get sucked into like this false reality of that, oh, I'm going to buy this guy's program because he said I got pizza. Yeah, you can't have pizza every single day. You could get fat eating pizza and you could get fat eating grapes, right? It's the same thing. It's just having the knowledge of knowing, do you have the discipline to have 2 slices and then eat your high protein meals the rest of the day and watch your carbs and fats.
The discipline.
That's all it is, So
That's it.
that's it. It's a discipline. You're welcome.
It's really hard.
I just blessed you. I just blessed you. I just blessed you with discipline. There it is. Right
The
there.
discipline is so hard.
D
That's
word.
The
The D. I just
Take a lot of
blessed
D.
the girls with the D right there.
Take a lot of D.
www.heavytomodify.com if you want to get blessed with the D, and that is discipline. All right, clip that for my online coaching program.
Indubitably.
Name's Anthony Lopez. I was over 600 pounds, and now I'm here to give you the D. Discipline. That's what I'm here to do.
You're welcome for that.
www.heavytomodify.com.
You trademarked that. I just came up with that for you.
Let's get. Honestly, I think I'm gonna clip that. I put that on social media. Like, my name is Heavy to Modify. I was over 600 pounds, and if you want me to give you the D, discipline, join my program. I'm here to help.
100%.
Yeah, we're canceled. I'm not posting that.
Yeah.
I'll keep it in the podcast though. That's funny. That's
come
funny.
on.
Someone just clips
That's
it
a
and posts
t-shirt.
it. Yeah,
No,
that's a
you
t-shirt.
put it on a t-shirt.
Let me give
I
you the
got the
D.
D.
I'm gonna give you the D,
Discipline.
and then the
Yeah.
back it says discipline. Discipline. That's amazing. But yeah, no, you girls got it. And honestly, yeah, I would love to. I think you should hop in one of my group Zoom calls and like kind of check out the community and kind of check out what we talk
that's
about.
a good idea.
You know what I mean? I think it'll be cool because I have a lot of people in my program that have the same thought process as you girls. That it's hard. Right now, it's not easy. I don't want to lie to anyone and say it's easy, but I will say it's not hard. I'll say it's different. Right? I didn't know how to do a lot of these things. I didn't know I didn't know that I could connect this iPad until my podcast set up, but I figured it out. So it wasn't hard. It was different. I had to learn it, but now I do it. Like, a lot of things we do are difficult, but it's just where do our priorities land, right? It's difficult for you to take time off of work to fly out to Vegas to do this, to come and do a podcast, shoot your own podcast. Then we go have lunch, dinner, and then we shoot my podcast. Now you got to go backpack. That shit's hard, but we do it, right? We choose your heart, right? And also, too, where do our priorities land? Like, where do you want to be in the next 5 years? Where do you want to be in the next 6 years? Where do you want to be in the next 60, 90 days, right? It's all about prioritizing where you want to be, not now, but in the future. And so when we figure out that, like, I know if I were to ask you right now, where do you want to be in the future? You guys are both probably bringing up your podcast, right? And which one do you and stuff. She's like, well, hold on, wait, I know we find each other, but
I'd be happily married in a really big house my girlfriend built, doing our podcast, right?
in the podcast studio.
In your backyard.
With the
I
podcast
do
studio.
want
But yeah.
a studio.
Yeah, me too. So our next place is gonna be we're gonna have our own studio inside in our house. So I'm very excited for that. But it's hard. Like you said earlier, pick your heart, right? But like, let's go. Let's send them off. I know you girls gotta get back to the hotel. You guys leave at what time? 5. I have to drive to California, but
I'm not going to sleep.
no, you're going to party tonight. We won't say what she's doing tonight, but she can go party tonight. So if you see her on the Vegas Strip, if you've seen her on the Vegas Strip, don't say nothing.
Give me your money.
Okay.
Give me your money.
Give me your money.
Yeah, dude. I gotta keep in my Skims, dude. They're not cheap.
The
They're not cheap. They're quality.
Look, it's Hims.
They're an investment.
All right.
Hims and Skims.
www.hims.com. If you want your man girdle, I got you covered.
Is it
Mims?
Mims. Hims. No, Hims.
Oh, I know.
Hims. Oh, Mims.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna do Hims.
Hims. Okay.
Hims.
I feel like, honestly,
If
I
you-
truly feel like men would be like, this is too fucking uncomfortable. Absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. The amount of
No, what I'll do on mine though,
uncomfort.
mine are gonna be like have like little ab imprints like on that one.
so
You have like you can feel it like
Yeah.
and you're at the club and the girl's like,
Stop.
hey, what's your name? And then she touches, she's like, you have abs.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
yeah, I'm 350 pounds with abs. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not weird.
You don't know this?
It's not scammy. It's Hims. Ding. We have a lot of slogans going on. We got a lot of slogans. If you want the D, come work with me. HeavyModify.com. Let's go. D stands for discipline. But yeah, send them off with some positive outlook. You know what I mean? I think this is a cool podcast. I really enjoyed this one. I really liked your ladies' insights on a lot of different things. It was different. It was really different. It was also really different. It was really cool. I'm really excited to post this to see the feedback we get from everyone that's going to leave a comment on this one. Interactive audience.
No, what's your
If I fail at this podcast, I'm doing OF.
That's what
I
she
say
said.
that every day. I say that every day.
That's funny.
How'd you know?
How do you know?
A saturated market.
No.
Yeah. Plus size.
There's enough.
I'll tell you that. I'm like, let's go.
I would. You know what? Maybe one day I will get an OF plus size model on here. I would be curious to know about that. Honestly, like. There's a fetish for everything. There's a person for everyone. Like I would.
Some of these big girls out there making
I wonder if there's a fetish for skin.
money.
Like what if I did that just like normal workout clothes, like just my skin. Like is there a fetish for skin?
I'm sure
Dude,
there is.
There's a
Yes.
fetish for everything.
Yes.
Okay, then
Like,
we're not going any more into that. I was gonna
honestly.
Google fetish of skin, but I'm
Fetish
good. I don't
for
think I
skin.
should. Then
I'm
some podcast popped up, then we
serious.
get banned forever.
You
Then
think you
I
get
lose
enough
everything.
free shit now? You just wait. No,
I don't
there's a
know what.
market for
What do you?
everything.
I don't want to get into that. You know what?
Your
I
body,
like.
your choice.
It's exactly.
Okay.
This is my temple.
Yes.
Okay, I already get sexualized by Frankie every single day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it for random people and pay me for it. Dirty. www.onlyfans.com.
You're right,
You're
you're
modified.
You're right. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. Drop the link at the bottom. But no, like I always like to end off like just sending some positive words to people out there listening right now, because people right now are the people listening, right? Because we talked about your podcast. Like there's a lot more people that are willing to go on there to listen to some funny stuff than to listen to like some self-development stuff. But the people who listen to this, they want to change their life around. They want to modify their life. They want to become a better version of themselves. Not perfect, a better person of themselves. So we'd love for both you ladies to send us off with some positive stuff. And then all your social medias will be down below. I won't forget this time. I usually forget. I'm not going to lie. It's not that I'm doing it on purpose. You know, I'm just editing at 1 a.m. That's all. I'll get it together though.
Positive. I think just make sure you're happy, because I know this is super lame, but life is short, and just seeing that as you get older, it's real, and you kind of feel like you're closer to death. That's my negative. But the positive is that make sure you're doing everything that makes you happy, and without being a narcissist, but making sure that you are making those choices in life that do make you happy. If you start to feel unhappy, make a change. And I think that's kind of what you preach, is making those changes when things aren't right. But that was my wise words, is make a change. Happiness is everything. That's how I feel.
Agreed.
Good words from Val. Let me tell you. No, and I like, I would probably say mine. I've said this before on our own, but it really rang true because it stuck with me. And that I think that means something, because I forget everything.
Yeah.
She remembers, I forget. Is speak so kindly to yourself, and your brain cannot differentiate, one, a negative, but two, if it's said through words or just in your head. And so your body is made up of, over 65% water, and even speaking derogatory to water, it doesn't look the same under microglass. It is dingy, it is darker, and water that is spoken to in positive light, and even plants, and even things, it's a certain type of frequency and energy. And so when you're thinking it and you're saying it out loud to yourself, your body's absorbing that. Your vessel is absorbing that energy. And you have to feed yourself good energy. And that's really where it starts. It's just, we gotta speak nicer to ourselves, about ourselves, for ourselves, about our body, about our minds, what we love about ourselves, and it will change your life, inside and out. So
Let's go.
yeah.
Let's go. And my what we're talking about, my bad. Oh, the camera's dead. It's overheated. We did cameras going out at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, because the fan's off. It's kind of it's overheats. Well, I'm gonna end off like this. Love yourself enough to fix a problem. There's nothing too difficult. There's nothing that you can't accomplish. There's nothing that you can achieve. The only thing that's gonna stop you is you. That's it. I promise you. When you look in the mirror and whoever's looking back at you, that is a person that is stopping you from being the best version of yourself. Right? So let's get out there and modify our life. Today we have Valerie and Amanda. Instagrams are down below. There's podcast is down below. And if we brought any type of value today, I would love for you to share it. I would love for you to comment, love for you to like it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All this happened for my
Hey.
There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.